Alright, so in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a great exercise that you can basically do every single day. And the best part about it is it practices three different things. It practices your scales, it practices your chords, and it practices your arpeggio playing. So if you are new to all these things, I'm not going to go into depth with all of them, but I will explain it. So first things first, let's start with scales. So if you don't know what a scale is at all, please be sure to see my other video that does talk about scales and gets into the details of it. I am going to assume you have some knowledge of how to play a scale. You don't need to know all of them, but this is a great way to learn them. So I'm going to start with the C major scale. So the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to play a C major scale, going up and coming back down. So that's the first part of the exercise, is doing the scale. Then what we're going to do is the 1, 4, 5, 7 chord progression of the scale. So once again, if you are not sure at all about how chord progressions work, how we name them from scales, be sure to see my other video that discusses this. So we're going to do the 1 chord in its root position. I'll just do its left hand here. So we're going to do a root position 1 chord, then a second inversion 4 chord. So that'll be our F chord in second inversion. Then we're going to come down to our 5-7 chord, so in that case that'll be our G dominant 7 chord in its first inversion, and then back to your 1 chord. So it's a 1 chord, 4 chord, 5-7 chord, and 1 chord. The reason I like to do this is because when we're practicing scales, we're learning a certain key of music. We're learning what notes are part of that scale, and more importantly than just the notes, we're learning what chords are part of that scale. And the most important chords in a scale are the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5-7 chord. So that's what we do. We play the scale once, then we play the chord progression, 1, 4, 5, 7, 1. Then from there, we do an arpeggio. So with an arpeggio, we'll left hand and right hand do two different things. So we're going to go 2 octaves here. So I'm going to bring my left hand down here. So the fingering that I like to use for my left hand is pinky, 4th finger, 2nd finger, 1st finger. And what we're doing is we're playing out the chord C, E, G, right? That's our chord. When we arpeggiate it, we're playing it note by note. So I'm going to do 5th finger on C, 4th finger on E, 2nd finger on G. Then thumb will play C here, and then I'm going to bring my hand over, play my 4th finger, 2nd finger on G, thumb on C. And then when I come back down, it'll be the opposite. So that is what the C major arpeggio looks like. Now I'm going to be doing it at the same time with my right hand. Right hand, there are 2 different fingerings that work. You can do 1st finger, 2nd finger, 3rd finger, tuck your thumb, 1st finger, 2nd finger, 3rd finger, 5th finger, and then come back down. So that is one method. Or you can do 2nd finger on C, 4th finger on E, and then thumb plays G like this. And then you end on your 2nd finger, come back down, cross over with your 4th finger, like that. So you could choose either one you like there. You could practice both and see, but then when we play it together, that is our C major arpeggio. So that is the exercise. We do a C major scale, we do our C chord progression here, and then we do our arpeggio. Now, you do not need to go as fast as I go, and you go as slow as you actually need, so you can do your scales like that if you want. You can do your arpeggios 1 note at a time. If this is your first time doing an arpeggio, you're going to want to just go slowly like that. So what I'm going to do, when I like to practice, I like to go through every key. So first I start with C major, I do it in my C major, went a little low there, so up here. Then I'll simply just go up and do C sharp major. Same thing. Then I'll do my arpeggio. I'm going to go down here. like that. And I'll go through every key. Then I do D major and so on. So you can do this for each key. You don't have to do every single key every time you sit down. If you're just learning how to play some keys, just do one of the keys. So just start with C major and just get comfortable doing this with C major. Then when you're ready, go to another easy key like G major, which just has one sharp. We do our G major pattern here. We do our chord progression. Then we do our arpeggio. And so on. So this is a great way to learn your scales. It's great additional practice outside of just robotically doing your scale. You also add in other good aspects like your chord progressions of that scale, and then also learning how to do arpeggio. So it's a great mix of learning all these things. All right, thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, as always, you can drop a comment below or just email me, which is just digitalpianoschool@gmail.com. Hope to see you again soon.